Hey guys, hey, it's Katie over at Lunar Ray Wellness. How are you? It's Thursday in my world, so hopefully if you are watching this on Thursday that you've had a good week, okay? I'm wearing my pretty floral shirt today because I'm going to be covering hibiscus flowers today. I don't know, the color red has just really been sticking out, like that red up there. I mean, I know it's not like the most beautiful red, but it's sticking out. So crimson, this hibiscus red, all of the beautiful reds for Christmas time, cranberry color red. I don't know, man, it's just all sticking out to me. So I was really drawn to do a message today about hibiscus flowers, okay? So hibiscus is native to India and Malaysia, but has been cultivated in tropical and subtropical regions worldwide. It's commonly known as hibiscus, roselle, red sorrel, Jamaican sorrel, Queensland jelly plant, sour, and Florida cranberry, okay? Now, I did bring our book today, and these are the bulbs that come from the plant, okay? These are what are normally harvested. They are really thick and fibrous, and the longer that they sit, they actually become more fibrous, which makes them a little bit more harder to, a little bit harder to use in the culinary aspect, okay? But they have a very tart flavor, and they also even kind of resemble cranberry in a way. But this is what the plant will look like, okay, in nature. Okay. But there are several hundred different species of the hibiscus plant. So there are some that are a little bit more therapeutic and beneficial in certain ways than others, more specifically when it comes to like menstrual health and the menstruation aspect, but we'll get to that here in just a few minutes. For now though, going back into the history, we touched on the native region being in India, okay? So the one thing about this plant is if you look back in historical culture in India, they actually have a lot of pictures of this beautiful red plant or beautiful red flower petals everywhere. And they're actually used in the worship of the Hindu goddess Kali, and it's the flower that's most commonly used in worshiping the god of new beginnings, wisdom and luck, and the removal of obstacles. So this is something in the Hindu religion that they felt like brought a lot of newness and almost revitalization, which is interesting because of the cleansing and like detoxifying properties that this comes with, okay? So in the Philippines, this was used more in a fun way, okay? So they would crush up the flowers and they would crush up the different stalks and leaves of the plant and mix it with some other herbs or just other substances to make a bubble consistency for the children. So it's kind of used in the Philippines for a toy, and a lot of women use these in the Pacific Islander community. If you ever see them with the pretty flowers behind their ear, okay, so the right ear, if you have one of the hibiscus flowers behind the right ear, it signifies that you're single. And if you have one behind the left ear, it means that you are either married or in a significant relationship. So just like wedding rings or rings, if you want to signify that you're in a relationship, you wear a band on your left hand. Could be married, could not be, but still, it's a significant outward source that, hey, I'm in a relationship, okay? But moving on, the symbol in Pacific Islander community was to show significance of beauty, femininity, and youthful love. So even just going back to the Hindu religion, it was showing those new beginnings and luck and the removal of obstacles. And whenever you're youthful in love, you're like flying by the seat of your pants. right? So you're feeling youthful. So energy is always going to tie everything together no matter what religion you are, okay? God or source or divine is the orchestrator, right? But moving right along, this is a plant that can be grown from both seed or propagated from cuttings, okay? So the seeds are typically grown anywhere from March to May. But if you grew the bulbs, so those large red bulbs like that, those can be planted from October. They can be sown anywhere in October or November. But remember, this is one of those plants that doesn't do too well with frost. So it could become vulnerable to the elements as the year goes by, okay? They prefer a warm, temperate climate to thrive in, where they have a lot of sun to thrive. So if you think of Africa, at least myself, if I think of Africa, I'm going to think of like a safari. And I think of a safari being hot, like the jungle. I ain't going to be wearing this out there in the jungle. You're going to see me out in my little hat, and I'm going to have like my little wild thornberry shirt with the buttons on the front, and we're going to go out there and like we're hunting, right? It's hot. I'm sweating. So you're going to want a lot of sun, a lot of heat, and that kind of environment. So this thrives in environments like that. And it's actually been noted that some African slaves had brought this whenever they were on their voyages, way back when they were on the slave trade. Unfortunately, I hate touching on this stuff because I know how sensitive it is, and I never want anyone coming to my channel thinking that I'm like insensitive to culture. By no means. I understand that I'm in this white meat suit, but I support and I honor any race or gender or any of that. So please don't think that I'm being culturally insensitive, but I do have to touch on the history with the African slave trade, okay? But the plant, the hibiscus plant, is a close relative to the okra, okay? And it was thought that it had been brought to the Americas by African slaves. So it's showing us that the earliest originality really could have been in East Africa, because that's where all of our slaves came from before they were on this treacherous freaking journey across the ocean for months on end. I'm sorry, I don't want to get on that because I can feel energy and it's hard. But relating okra to other uses of hibiscus, okay? We will get to the medicinal, but there's a lot of uses for hibiscus that we don't even realize. So hibiscus is a very high fibrous plant. And especially over time, if you let the bulbs of the flower sit long enough on the stem, they will almost over ripen. So it's considered a fruit, okay? So the longer they sit, they become more fibrous, okay? So in the textile use, let me see, I feel like I wrote it. Hold on, y'all. No, I didn't write anything on the back page. I could have swore I did. Oh yeah, here. So the fibers, okay, of the plant were used in rope making back in the 1800s. In the 1800s, there was a missionary ship from Polynesia that was called the Messenger of Peace, and they actually used the plant, the hibiscus plant, to make the ropes that were used. And I thought that was so interesting because of my walk in faith and spirituality. They used this plant to spread the love of Jesus Christ and Christianity all across the world. And it was made from the inner bark of the sea hibiscus plant. So the originality of the hibiscus that we found in East Africa was Hibiscus subderifa, but the one that they used for making of those ropes was the Hibiscus tiliaceus. But they used the inner bark of the plant. So I'm never going to get all these words right, y'all, but I appreciate you coming along. But I thought that was so neat. And then that also ties back to the whole fact of supporting all religions, okay? So the Hindu was the first one I touched on because of the beauty, okay? And then we get to the Christianity side by, you know, spreading the word of Jesus Christ by using this plant to make the ropes that they use to pull their masses and lead them and guide them across the ocean, okay? So touching on the medicinal side, some of the properties that hibiscus holds is it is known to be a diuretic and a laxative, as well as have astringent properties, and is an emmenagogue, which is an herb that stimulates blood flow to the pelvic region. So if you look at women's health, that would mean that would encourage menstruation. So if we really think about it from a scientific standpoint, hibiscus is really almost in a way like a contraception. I'm not saying that you need to take away your birth control from your doctor, because as always, I like to tell you in all of my videos, I am not a doctor. I am just someone with some knowledge about herbs, and I'm conveying it to whoever's on my the other side of my window, okay? So anything that you try is not my responsibility, it's your own. But it can stimulate menstruation because of that stimulation of the blood flow, okay? And it can also help increase circulation, lower your blood pressure, treat fevers, and the leaves have been seen as a remedy for sores and wounds. So overall, the hibiscus is going to, seems like, dilate your vessels a lot. Dilate things. Because it even helps with lowering your cholesterol, because it almost acts like a bristle brush to help open up the vessel, astringent that calcification or the plaque that's in the vessels, improving the circulation, which then improves your cardiac health and overall just circulation through the body. So this is also seen as a natural ACE inhibitor, okay? So some people are on some of the prils, so lisinopril, captopril, other things. Those are some of the medications in a chemical standpoint that are seen in this, the chemical standpoint of one of the ACE inhibitors that maybe hibiscus could assist with. I'm sorry, guys. I've been trying to get my words out, but when I'm channeling, sometimes things get clunky. So just go with me. I've got my crystals with me today. So I've got my obsidian and I've got labradorite. Obsidian is there to take away all the negativity and all the bad juju energy, so I'm gonna hold on to both of those today. But let's continue on, okay? So before we dive into the whole cardiovascular system, I wanted to touch more on the feminine side of things, because I feel like I've got a lot of curious minds that are of a feminine origin. So it could be, it doesn't matter. I'm not channeling like that right now, but let's go on to the history. So throughout history, it is said that this is an herb that has a contraception qualities related to its effect on your estrogen levels, and it also stimulates or encourages menstruation. Now this is the Hibiscus sabdarifa, so or the Hibiscus rosacenesis. So these are both of the hibiscus genus species that could help with that, okay? So Sabdarifa was the one that was like the original from Africa, and then I don't know where the rosacenesis was founded or native to, but they're all just cousins, families, friends. It's a taxonomy thing, genus, species, goes down the line, okay? And you can Google how many different ones there are. There's hundreds of different species. And it also helps with different connective tissue disorders by lowering your oxidative stress levels and protecting against cell damage. So some people have also thought, especially in the Mexican culture from what I've read about, a lot of people have thought that hibiscus can actually be anti-cancer. So they think that this can help fight those free radicals in the body and kind of help depleting those cancer building cells, okay? And hibiscus has high levels of polyphenols, which are antioxidants that promote your overall health. And a lot of the antioxidants that we've talked about recently, like with the stinging nettle, is going to be very similar to your hibiscus plant because they are both astringent. They're both almost the same properties. A lot of the same polyphenols that you're going to find in your nettle, you're going to also find in your hibiscus as well. So almost categorize the last two herbs that we've done as like a lesson on urinary health because they both are really beneficial for that, okay? Now, some of the ways that you can utilize your hibiscus is as a tea. Now, in Hispanic culture, a lot of families have hibiscus tea just in their refrigerator. I know I've seen in my own ex-in-law's household that my father-in-law would drink hibiscus a lot. And yes, it can help clean your kidneys, but it also helps clean your bowels. So if you're having a lot of issues having bowel movements, that hibiscus can help with that as well. Okay, guys? Just remember, if you're pregnant, be cautious. Now, if you are going to make a tea, you're going to utilize 2 teaspoons of your dried hibiscus herbs in 1 cup of your boiling water. So just as we've covered in every herb that we've done together, it's always going to be about 1 to 2 teaspoons of your herb to 1 cup of water. You can always do more, you can always do less, okay? Just remember the steep time is going to be a little different for every herb. So this one specifically says that you can steep it for 15 minutes, but everything is going to be to taste. So it's not saying you're not going to get the same effects if you don't steep it for 15 minutes. It's just saying, you know, you may get some bitterness from it if you steep it longer than 15 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. But you're going to strain it and then add sugar or honey and enjoy either hot or cold. So like I had said, I think the one that I had seen at my in-laws was cold because it was in the refrigerator. I don't think I ever saw him drink it hot, but that's just me. And then you can have this in a tincture form as well. Now remember, a tincture is an alcohol-based extraction of your plant. Okay, so anybody can make a tincture at home. It's just, you can look up how to do that if you'd like. Or you can look at me. I've got some that I'm making too. But anyway, you're going to take about 1 teaspoon of your tincture, no matter where you get it or who you get it from. 1 teaspoon 2 times a day. It's a tincture. We kind of touched, excuse me, last time we kind of touched on the capsules and how you could, how you can take capsules, or you can make them at home, but you have to weigh them. So the capsulated form is suggested at about 1,000 milligrams of your dried hibiscus herb 2 to 3 times a day. So if you were to make this or if you were to buy this, that's what it's suggested as, okay? And if you get an extraction, okay, which is typically at your health food store, that's a little bit more of a process to get an extract. It's just more of a process, but YouTube, there's a lot of YouTube videos about that. But you can take an equivalency of about 100 milligrams daily of an extract, and this is going to help decrease your total cholesterol levels to help improve your overall health function. And it can even help promote a healthy weight, okay? So if you are someone who may have been told that, hey, because let's just face it, folks, if we're in America, we're overweight. Okay, so maybe you've been told by your doctor that, hey, I see that your weight's getting kind of up there. We need to look at putting you on atorvastatin or prevestatin, an anti-cholesterol drug. And you're like, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't like the effects that that's going to have on me. I can't take that. Well, you can drink this in a tea form, and it could help lower your overall cholesterol that you have and help promote an improvement in your liver health. And along with flushing those toxins out of your liver, it's like flushing all of the sludge and the crap out of your body, okay? And if you're flushing the toxins and your body is finding synergy, you're going to be able to start promoting healthy weight. just like myself, right? I've been overweight my entire life. I even was on the weight loss shot for a while. But now, I'm not on a single prescription medication. Nothing. I only take supplements or herbs. And I've still am continuously losing weight. I have not been under 200 pounds since high school. And I'm sitting closer to 180 now. So, that's been a big change for me. But anywho's, let's continue on. Enough about me. Let's get back to the message, right? Some of the risks that are involved in taking this medicine, we kind of already talked about how it has lowering blood pressure qualities because it's a diuretic. So just as the stinging nettle that we covered yesterday, you really got to be careful with other diuretics that may be prescribed to you from your physician. If you're taking these prescriptions, though, from your doctor, you don't want to have risks of having falls, okay, guys? So you are more at risk of having lower blood pressure. You could have headaches, okay? Some other things could be nausea or tinnitus. Now, tinnitus is the ringing in the ears that a lot of people get if they get vertigo. Now, let's be honest, guys. Medicine, Western or holistic, our bodies have machine parts in them, right? Our brain, our heart, our liver, our lungs, everything is a machine. If things get off, like for instance, tinnitus or vertigo typically is caused from the 3 little bones in the very, very inner part of the ear. So if you're taking any of these medications, especially like this hibiscus, and it has the diuretic qualities, your electrolytes can get off, causing those imbalances or what have you. So be careful. The bones in your ear are caused, they keep you balanced by floating in water. So our bodies are 70+% water. And I know somebody in the comments is going to be like, nuh-uh, mine's Dr. Pepper, mine's Pepsi. Well, you need more water in your life. It helps replenish your cell growth, especially whenever you replenish them every 7 days. Yeah, think about it. Your mattress gets heavier every year because of how much sweat and skin cells that fall into it. Isn't that weird? There's my nursey humor for you guys. It's dark. It's beautiful. But some other risks that are more what would I say, like scary, I guess, is going to be that this is going to be one of those plant medicines that's going to affect the pharmacokinetics of how your medicine is processed in your body. So does anybody know what that means? Pharmacokinetics. I'm going to guess that's a no. There's going to be like 1 or 2 that's like, heck yeah, I do. I love y'all because you know where I'm coming from. But pharmacokinetics is how your body metabolizes the medicines that's going to be consumed, okay? And it's going to be it's going to affect how it's absorbed in your GI tract, okay? So this is actually one of those medicines that's going to affect like anti-malaria drugs. It's going to affect like anti-parasitic drugs because, well, anti-malaria drugs is an anti-parasitic drug, but the parasitic processes are going to be stuck in your gut, okay? So a lot of this is going back to the medicinal qualities of the cleansing process. So whether you're trying to do this to help regulate your menstruation, or whether you're trying to do this to help you lose weight because of its diuretic properties, or whether you're trying to just help yourself relieve some natural constipation, I support any of you guys using this as long as you're not doing it to hurt someone, okay? That's just not cool. We bring love and light to this channel, okay? I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I think I've touched kind of on everything. I hope you guys have been really enjoying the messages that I've been bringing. I don't know how I keep getting scooched closer where you guys can see my little Christmas tree, but that's my roommate's Christmas tree. I think it's cute. But I hope everyone has a good rest of their Thursday. Going into the weekend, we're getting closer to that day of Christmas and celebrating time with our families and our children. Remember to send some gratitude today for Divine and all of the blessings that they've bestowed on your life today, okay? It's always, always important to do that. I hope everybody receives the peace, love, and light that I'm bringing to them. I hope that you receive that willingly and openly, okay? But I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm sending all my peace, love, and light. Peace out. Stay safe. Bye for now.